Welcome back to the Whole Line Homestead. I'm Belinda Whole Line. Today we're going to be talking about the milking equipment that I use every day to milk our dairy goats. This is going to be a review-like video about this system, and I have to say up front, guys, I am in love with this system, and I'm never going to buy another system until we outgrow this one as a dairying farm. So starting out, this is our bucket. The bucket comes apart from its hoses, and you can see this bucket is set up to milk multiple goats at a time. My husband put together this cap for me to cover one side since we only use one set of hoses, but you could very easily milk 2 goats with this system. It's meant to milk 2 goats. The actual vacuum pump, when I get to that, is set up to milk 4 goats. But the bucket itself milks 2 goats at one time. You have your pulsator here, and to get that off, you're just going to unscrew this little piece here, and the pulsator slides right out. So this is the pulsator piece. In the time that I've had this machine, which has been almost 3 years, I've replaced the pulsator 1 time, and that was user error. I got it wet. Do not get your pulsator wet. It's not meant to get wet. The next piece underneath of your pulsator, and I'm going to pull this down, the handle down. That's how you unlock the lid. Okay. The next piece on your lid is this black fitting. So this is where your pulsator slides onto, and underneath this you have a little valve that keeps the milk from going up into your pulsator and into your vacuum pump. Moisture still does escape through this. Our actual hose, our vacuum hose, goes onto here, and that hose goes to this machine that vacuum pumps. It still gets some moisture collection because the hose that connects the pump to here has some mold in it. I clean it, the mold keeps coming back, moisture is escaping, but I'm okay with that because it's a one-way street. It's not going this direction, we're only going back towards our machine, so I'm okay with that. This is the lid assembly. This is really heavy duty. I mean, it's not a cheap quality at all. I love that it has these little pieces here. This is where you can hang your hoses on. Underneath the lid, it's super easy to clean. This comes out, this gasket. This is your sealing gasket, and that's it. So you can easily scrub all of this down. You can get a brush down into these tubes, and it's really, really easy to clean, dry, and then reassemble. Okay, the actual bucket itself, this is a 3-gallon bucket, I believe. It is really stinking heavy duty. It's gorgeous, well done. On the bottom, there is this lip here, which I really like because when I pour the milk, I have a little handle here I can hold on to, but sometimes I just like to hold on to this lip and pour also. So no complaints about the construction of this bucket. It is so heavy duty, well done, absolutely no complaints here. These are the hoses for the system. So we have the smaller hose, which is our vacuum hose that goes into our pulsator over here. You may have noticed too, the pulsator has 2 different ports here. One, we have a little white cap in. That cap came with the system, and that is only used if you're also using the second set of hoses. So it's nice. We have everything capped off, so we're only using 1 set. So this easily just hooks right onto the vacuum side of the pulsator. And then the bigger tube is obviously your milk tube. This is what's going to the goat, and that just hooks onto the other side over here. The hoses themselves, again, I love this system. I have absolutely no complaints about this. The valve is made out of plastic, but it's durable, really easy to use. There are times that this valve gets stuck and it's hard to open or close. I haven't quite figured out exactly why it does that. I don't know if it's because it's cold out. Sometimes I've noticed it's in the winter time, maybe it just gets too cold, but sometimes it gets a little stuck and that's frustrating, but it just means you need two hands to close the valve, where normally I only need one hand. So I can hold, these hoses are on the goat, it's actively milking, the goat has finished their milking, so I just turn this valve, it cuts the suction, and these just fall right off of the goat. So these are the actual mechanisms that go onto the goat. This rubber is really pliable. It's really, really soft. Like the inside is really soft, and they're easy to clean. They come apart right down here, this black part. All of this can disassemble into little pieces, but I usually take at least this off because it gives me a clear shot to go down there with scrubbies and all of my sanitizing equipment. And then the bottom down here has this little ring valve. These like to fall out sometimes during cleaning, so make sure you have extra of these around. And this is where your little fins are. You can see on this one, we've actually had 2 fins break off. This little piece here needs replaced in our system. The other side, no fins have broken off. So I'm not exactly sure what happened here or when this broke, but this has been the only piece so far that we've had any damage to. So I'm just gonna put that back in. This piece will also come off on the bottom, which gives you access to take that piece out that I was just showing you. Easy to disassemble, reassemble, and you're ready to go with this. All right, so the next thing that I'm going to be reviewing is the actual vacuum pump here. The vacuum pump is designed to milk up to 4 goats. Let me make sure I'm right here, to 4 goats, which is really great for a smaller dairy like ours. We milk approximately 10 to 20 goats, depending on where we're at in lactation cycle. Absolutely no complaints on this thing, you guys. It shows up and it does the work every single time for us. We've had it for a few years now. It's been in the barn. It's taken some abuse, and it absolutely looks fantastic. This is so well built, so well made. You will not be disappointed in this machine. So here is the actual machine information itself. This is made by EZ Milking Equipment. I live in Western Pennsylvania, but I'm actually from Lancaster County, so that is how I knew about EZ Milking Equipment. I bought this machine, though, from a dealer in Ohio. So if you go onto EZ Milking Equipment's website, you can find a dealer in your area that is carrying this equipment. So as we're looking over the machine here, this is where your oil is, your site class here for that. Down here, you can actually read your pressure and adjust the pressure accordingly for your animals. This is our motor itself over here, and the plug. I like the length of this plug. It's just enough to reach where I need it to, and it's not too long that I feel like it's absurd. So I'm really happy with that. And down here you have the actual area where you put on your suction hoses. So there is a valve down here where you can turn suction on and off. This one over here would obviously be used if we had a whole nother bucket system set up. It would go to this side. Happy with this. This is what I'm talking about with the hose though, guys. See how there's some mold in here. I have cleaned this hose plenty of times. It keeps coming back. So we are getting moisture from our bucket to the machine, but it's not hurting our quality of milk. Our milk has been tested, and there's nothing going on funky with our milk because of this. This is a one-way street. It goes from the bucket into this machine. So my real concern is making sure the machine is not getting too wet. Haven't had an issue with that yet. When I bought this machine, I did ask the guy about a warranty, and he was like, I don't think there's a warranty, but I've never had anybody have any issues with it. These are built to last you a lifetime. This is an investment that you make now, and it's gonna last you forever. So if I can show you the last thing here. So you have the handle. All right, so you have the handle here, and it's heavy. This is not a really light piece of equipment, but it's light enough with leverage. You pull it up, it has the wheels, and you can easily move it. So I'll walk you through a quick setup with the bucket. So we already have our bucket set up. Our hoses are already put on. So I have the suction line here. This is coming from the vacuum pump. I'll take you over there in a second to show you that. As I said, the suction line is going to go right over here in your suction area because you want that vacuum pump to go through your pulsator to actually give that sensation to the goats as if a baby's drinking. So the pulsator is a necessity. You don't want straight suction on your goats. So I'll take you over to the machine and show you that. And you can see it running. Lastly, I did want to share with you how much this system cost us. We bought this system back in 2019 with the vacuum pump, the buckets, the hoses, the pulsator, the whole package came to a grand total of $2,500. For us, it was very well worth the investment as it's paid for itself over and over again. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, comment down below if you have any further questions or anything about our milking equipment. I'd love to try and answer that for you. All of my love from the homestead. Thanks for being here. I'm Belinda Holine.